On August 24, 79 AD, 20,000 people had 12 hours of warning before Vesuvius killed them. Most of them made the wrong choice at the wrong time. As you stand in the ruins of Pompeii, you are walking among the remnants of a city that was frozen in time by the devastating eruption of Mount Vesuvius, an event that was witnessed by Pliny the Younger, who would later write about it in his letters to the Roman historian Tacitus. Can you imagine what it would be like to be a resident of Pompeii, going about your daily life, unaware of the impending disaster that would soon engulf your city? In the months leading up to the eruption, the residents of Pompeii had been experiencing a series of earthquakes, including a major one on February 5, 62 AD, which had caused significant damage to the city, and smaller tremors on August 20, 79 AD, just 4 days before the eruption. The city was also experiencing a severe drought, with the river Sarno, which ran through the city, having decreased significantly in flow, and the nearby Bay of Naples had been experiencing unusual tidal patterns, with the sea level rising and falling by as much as 10 feet in a matter of hours. As you explore the ruins, you notice the sophisticated engineering of the city's water supply system, which included a complex network of pipes and fountains, designed by the Roman engineer Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa, who had built the first public baths in Rome in 25 BC. What would you have done if you were a resident of Pompeii, faced with these ominous warning signs? As the day of the eruption began, on August 24, 79 AD, at around 1 p.m., the earth began to shake violently, and a massive explosion rocked the city, sending a massive cloud of ash, pumice, and rock into the air, which would eventually reach a height of over 20 miles, blocking out the sun and casting a dark shadow over the city. The first phase of the eruption, known as the Pompeii phase, was characterized by a massive release of energy, with pyroclastic flows, which are fast-moving, hot clouds of ash, gas, and rock, reaching temperatures of up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit and speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, killing thousands of people instantly, including the residents of the nearby town of Herculaneum, which was buried under a thick layer of ash and pumice. The second phase, known as the volcanic phase, was characterized by a series of explosive eruptions, which sent massive clouds of ash and pumice into the air, causing widespread destruction and chaos, with the sound of the eruption being heard as far away as 100 miles, and the ash cloud being seen from the island of Capri, 20 miles away. As you walk through the streets of Pompeii, you notice the bodies of the victims, frozen in time, many of them with their faces contorted in a mixture of fear and agony, and you wonder, what was going through their minds as they tried to escape the impending disaster. The forensic evidence suggests that many of the victims died from asphyxiation, caused by the massive amounts of ash and pumice in the air, which would have made it impossible to breathe, and the heat from the pyroclastic flows, which would have caused severe burns and damage to the lungs. The aftermath of the eruption was devastating, with the city of Pompeii being buried under a thick layer of ash and pumice, up to 20 feet deep in some areas, and the nearby town of Herculaneum being buried under a layer of ash and pumice, up to 60 feet deep. The eruption would have a profound impact on the Roman Empire, with the Roman Emperor Titus, who was in Rome at the time of the eruption, ordering a massive relief effort, which would include the deployment of the Roman navy to evacuate survivors and provide food and shelter to those in need. As you look at the ruins of Pompeii, you see the remnants of a city that was once thriving, with its sophisticated architecture, its vibrant culture, and its rich history, and you wonder, what would have happened if the residents of Pompeii had heeded the warning signs and evacuated the city before the eruption? The new forensic evidence, which includes the analysis of the victims' bodies, as well as the study of the ash and pumice layers, has provided a detailed picture of the events leading up to the eruption, and the horrific conditions that the victims faced as they tried to escape. As you stand in the ruins of Pompeii, you are reminded of the power and fury of nature, and the devastating consequences of ignoring the warning signs of an impending disaster, and you are left to ponder, what can we learn from the tragic events of August 24, 79 AD, and how can we apply those lessons to our own lives, as we face the challenges and uncertainties of the 21st century.